So we're talking about how sometimes we get depressed and we get low. And we would think God would condemn us. But God doesn't condemn us. Look at Elijah. God did a great miracle through Elijah, and then a little later, Elijah gets in this environment and gets all depressed and down and low and wants God to take his life. And you think God would come in and preach a long sermon to Elijah about don't commit suicide, don't do that, don't think that way, what's wrong with you, why are you so low, why are you so depressed? God doesn't do that. God doesn't condemn him. God doesn't correct him. God just brings a little bit of bread and water to kind of take care of him. And so you have another example in the Bible, and that's David. King David in the Old Testament, many times got depressed. I don't know if you've ever had the time to read through the Psalms in the Old Testament. I remember the first time I was reading through it, I go, who wrote the Psalms? This guy is low. This guy gets depressed. A lot of the language is low, 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 and it's like, why would God even put this in the Bible? Well, you know what? Human beings get low sometimes, we get depressed sometimes. But God didn't give up on David. David just kept his intimacy with God. He kept interacting with God. He kept praying to God. So let me read a couple of verses here. So we're going to go to Psalms chapter 3. But thou, O Lord, art a shield for me, my glory and the lifter up of my head. In other words, David, when he wrote that psalm, which was kind of a psalm or a prayer, he obviously was looking down. He was looking low. He was a little bit low, depressed, whatever. And he says, God, thank you for strengthening me. Thank you for lifting my head up. And then in Psalm 13, he says, how long will you forget me, O Lord, forever? It's like David was thinking, God, you have forsaken me. How come you're not here? I don't feel you. I don't see you. God, what happened to you? So David got low. That's Psalm 13. Then Psalm 18. At the end of it, he says, in my distress, I called upon the Lord and cried out to my God. He heard my voice. Okay. And at the beginning of it, he says, I will love thee, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God, my strength, in whom I will trust. Then in Psalm 38, David says, I'm troubled. I'm bowed down greatly. But then he says, my groaning is not hidden from you. So David took his depression. David took his troubles and he brought them to God in prayer. So our takeaway on this whole thing is, look at Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They will mount up with wings as eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. So the encouragement here is keep looking to God. God will lift you up. God will lift us up like eagles. God will lift us up so we can have our strength renewed.